Hey guys, welcome to one of the first videos of Startled Squid Tattoos, the Startled Squad. Um, this is
Nick.
this is
Sharla.
and I'm Ash, and we make up a pretty good portion of Startled Squid Tattoos. And today we're going to introduce you to a little segment of ours that we do not have a name for just yet, but we will call it really something quirky and cool. And what this segment is about is we recently entered into a little bit of a competition, our whole studio did, and we found some problems along the way. One of those problems was our creativity. And as tattoo artists, you know, sometimes people want what they want, so there's not much room for creativity. So in a competition, they give you a subject and a style, and you just have to do it. And so yeah, we're gonna kind of practice a lot on that. So that is what this little segment is about. So once a week, or maybe every 2 weeks, we haven't decided just yet. That's what I say. It's still very, very new. We're gonna spin a wheel, and we're gonna get a random tattoo subject and a random tattoo style, and the three of us, maybe more, depending. We will then compete with just the designs, not the tattoos. And our Head Artist Guile will then judge them based on certain criteria that he feels are good enough for a competition. So Sharla did do a nice little wheel spin that we 100% did not film. And yeah.
So the topic that we ended up getting is a neo-traditional pirate. So that'll be the theme for this, the theme and style for this this episode, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So Neo-Trad Pirate. We're going to head over to our design table and we're going to show you what we came up with. And we did we did get our viewers to randomly pick and vote on Instagram what design was their favorite. So we have a viewer's vote, and then our Head Artist Guile will also have his vote as what's the favorite. So we are going to head over to the design table, tell you what we came up with and why we came up with it. So yeah.
So see you there.
So this is our design table, and Neo-Trad Pirate was our subject and our theme. So for Neo-Trad Pirate, I wanted to go with a very pretty pirate. That's what I was thinking. And I'm kind of like part of the OG crew of Startled Squid Tattoos. So one of these old rules that we always have and still do is if you can put a squid in it, put a squid in it. If you can put tentacles in it, put tentacles in it. It usually ends up being octopi because squids don't normally show up too well in like tattoos and stuff, but it's fine. Tentacles are tentacles. And so I needed to put some sort of oceanic theme in it. It's a pirate and it's nautical. So 100% initially I was thinking definitely pretty pirates, you know, got to have a nice little pretty pirate, and definitely involve a squid octopus somewhere in the design. And then those were my two thoughts. In my color palette, I was thinking some nice reds, more maroons, and some light blues and greens. And this is kind of what I came up with, and I'm very happy with it. And yeah, so that is my design and my thought process behind the design. And yeah.
Hey guys, okay, so with regards to my piece, it is also neo-traditional pirate. I specifically went to go and look for a pretty pirate. We do obviously if someone's gonna have a tattoo of a piece, usually you'll go for either a very pretty or sexy pirate. So I went and I just tried to find references with regards to that. Then I went with a more autumn palette. I thought the color scheme went really well with my piece. And then I framed it with added some neo-traditional flowers just to give it that feel of the neo-traditional style. A lot of the pieces have the different flowers in it. It doesn't have to, but it is very common as well. So, but yeah, that's more or less my piece, and that's that.
So with my piece, I kind of kept the theme with what everyone else did, you know, a conventionally attractive woman, because who doesn't love conventionally attractive women? To kind of just spice my design up a little bit, I thought it would be fun to add in the musket, because, you know, pirates are really well known for their guns and their swords. And, you know, my partner absolutely loves guns, so I was like, you know what, why not? You know, it'll be fun. Obviously, I did add in flowers similarly to how Sharla did, because you know flowers are really popular in Eurotrad, and I thought it would help just add more to the piece, bring more life into the hat. And with my design, I thought the way that I kind of cut off where the breasts are, okay, it would kind of just like symbolize where the dress would end, rather than adding the dress in itself and then having the flowers go along, kind of just add more like a more floral and feminine aspect to it. As for the color palette, I went for a more warm color palette, a lot of reds, yellows, oranges, and I thought that it worked well, especially with the musket itself, because it had like a nice wood color in it, wood because it's musket. And I thought that tied together very well. I like my piece, so hopefully you like it too. But anyways.
Hello everybody, my name is Guile. I'm the owner of Startled Squid Tattoos, and I'll be doing the judging today based on the 3 pieces that we've seen. So the judging today is going to be based on 4 criterias: application, composition, creativity and placement. So naturally, with these being digital designs, the application is going to be judged on how well the blending has been put together, as well as how clean the line work is. Placement, on the other hand, is not going to be one I'm going to be able to judge on, so I'm going to cut it down to the 3 criterias. So I'm basically going to be doing application, composition and creativity on this. So I'm going to be starting off judging this piece here. All of them are neo-traditional pirates. So yeah, I'm going to get into this. Alright, okay, so it's been judged on application, basically to see how clean the lines are, how smooth the shading is, how well does it go together, is there any areas where the lines go out of the lines, is there any areas where the lines are shaky, so yeah. And then composition, basically how well a piece has been put together, how well it's being, basically how well the elements flow together that actually makes sense. And then creativity is how creative was the artist in their attempt with their design. So for this piece here, it's scored out of a 3-point system there. So 1 being bad, 3 being good, 2 being average. So I've scored it a 2-2-3.
How would I improve?
Okay, so let me explain the reason why I gave it a 2 for application and composition. So if we look at the piece itself, the first thing I want to see when I'm looking at something like this, especially when it's a lady's face where the hair is included, is how well are the lines done in the hair. And all these lines, they're not all connected, it's not smooth, there is areas that go out of the lines. There is also sections here where the tentacle goes into the hair. Some of these circles have not been erased. Then there's also a lot of areas as well where the color has not been colored up to the line. There's gaps, there's areas where the shading goes over. So based on the fact of application, giving it a 2 is actually generous for this because of the inconsistencies of the areas that don't come up to the lines, the pieces that go out of the lines that don't connect. You know, on application, all of that is essential, especially for neo-traditional. Neo-traditional needs to have a strong basis of basically solid bold line work with intermediate lines, light and thin lines, but you want a smooth transition with polar opposite colors being able to help identify and bring that piece forward. So I've given it a 2 on application for those purposes that I mentioned. a 2-1 composition because if you take a look at the way the tentacles are placed, this tentacle comes over the face but then goes underneath the gland on the octopus, and this gland is a very tight gland on the octopus, so it's not a gland that would be necessarily very far out, that the tentacle should actually be behind it. That tentacle should have sat in front of it. I also count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tentacles. Assuming that that one is part of that tentacle, that's okay. But this tentacle here is confusing. The one that sits in the background here doesn't make sense, because where is it going? If this is this tentacle, it shouldn't be so high up. If it's that tentacle, it should be cutting in through there. So this tentacle itself here doesn't really make sense as to where or why it's placed there. And then a 3 for creativity, because this is an original piece. It is more than 80% changed, so it is an original tattoo design.
Okay. Awesome.
Just give it to me. Alright, so the second one, I'm going to be judging all styles on neo-traditional. This is the second design that I'm going to be judging, and it will be judged on the same principles as the first one. So we're going to add tattoo ability, so whether or not this tattoo, this design is something that can be tattooed without difficulty, well, relative difficulty, because an experienced artist will be able to apply it well. So with that, we don't want elements that's too complicated or designs that is too close together, things that are too small in detail. It needs to be easily legible and something that can be tattooed at a fair size of anything from, I'd say, 15 centimeters up. So I'm going to add points then to the first one that I did. Now that's also going to be based on the color that's applied. So the color that's applied will also be judged based on the tattoo ability of it. For the tattoo ability of it, for the first tattoo design that was shown, it's 2233. And then for the second one, being this one here, 2333. So, application. The line work is a lot cleaner, the line work is a lot smoother, it flows through very few areas that don't connect. There is, however, a few spots of this piece where there are overlapping lines, where lines are not. Let me just find that few that I found there. It's a bit difficult to look at it while I'm looking at it from here. Same goes as well when it comes to color. There is areas of this where the color does not go all the way up to the lines. So if you take a look here, for example, like this area here, you see where the line goes over there. That's something that needs to be checked, as well as color that is not right up against the image specifically, which I know I did discuss this with Sharla, but in the actual pirate's hat, there's corners here that don't fully go up. They're close, but that gap is still a gap. And we're judging on digital art. Digital art is a lot easier to apply with than it is actually doing a tattoo. I mean, the iPad pretty much does most of the work for you. Same as this leaf at the bottom here, the lines here extend beyond there, the shading is extended beyond there as well, so that's why it gets a 2 for application. 3 for composition, because the way the piece has been put together is nice. It does flow well. It's got an even balance, even for a design that is asymmetrical. The hair is not too dark or too light, so it doesn't distract from the face. The focal point is present. Yeah, so it's compositionally put together quite well. 3 on creativity as well as tattooability. It is a fairly simple design for a tattoo to be done from, which does make it easier. Keep it simple, break it down. Creativity as well, it is creative. The elements are utilized popularly, so the flowers, for example, are quite popularly used. It's the only thing that could possibly lose a score on creativity. However, the way it's been placed with this design, it is a neo-traditional tattoo, and these flowers are your more common flowers utilized in the style, so it can count and it does classify. So that is that piece. Okay, the next one I'm going to be judging is this one. Alright, so this was the piece that I judged now, and I scored it a 3232. The last score point there at the bottom, 3232. So 3 on application. As you can see, the design is as close to flawless as a digital design can get. Line work is smooth, line work is clean, it's crisp, it's got the highlights, lowlights and mid-tones and tonal values in it that's necessary to bring the piece forward. The color is all the way up to the lines. There's no areas where the lines or the color goes outside of the lines, so that's why it scored a 3 on application. Composition, I scored it down on a 2, reason being because I feel that the musket is it feels that it doesn't really have an exact place in this design. It looks like it was an afterthought. It doesn't really flow as well with the piece, and yeah, if you look at the way that this piece has been put together, as beautiful as it is, elements do need to flow together more fluidly to be able to maintain a purpose behind them, and unfortunately I'm just not feeling it with the musket for that. Creativity, I gave it a 3 because I do feel that it is a creative design. I haven't seen it before. I do like the way the design holds itself. I gave it a 2 on tattooability. The reason being because if you take a look at the corners of this design from where the bottom of the musket is to the top all the way across, it creates a very square look to the design. And as beautiful as the feature is of leaving the negative space by the cleavage area of the design, it's the kind of design that you have very specific placement on. It's not a design that I feel can flow very well with other tattoos, because if you were to add to this design on a tattoo, you wouldn't be able to do anything below the cleavage area because it would take away the visual effect of what has been designed and created by this artist. So I think it's a phenomenal piece, and I think it works well if the person who's getting it done has got a sticker book style approach to their tattoos, where they get a tattoo and then they do another tattoo, but there's an equal amount of skin and space between each tattoo. Then I think for that purpose it's a perfect design, but it is a design that works preferentially towards specific areas of the body, and that's why I scored it a 2 on tattooability. So that's the scoring for the tattoos today. The community public vote was on the first one, the one with the octopus. I do agree with the community. It is also my favorite design out of the 3. Anything that's got octopus, squids, tentacles is automatically going to be one of my more favorite pieces. I like the way that there is a vibrant color change difference between them. between the face and the octopus, so I do like that. It is my favorite one. However, when it comes to judging a design, we need to judge it, we need to break that design down, and we need to judge it on all the characteristics and elements in the piece. So we need to look at, are the lines clean? Are they straight? Are they jagged? Do they go out of the lines? Do they overlap each other? Is the color smooth? Does the color go out of the lines? Is the transition between shades smooth, and does it actually speak true to the artist themselves? So there's a lot of different things that we need to evaluate with them. For example, if you look at the first compared to the second and third tattoo, the first tattoo has got a lot more elements behind it, which makes it, it makes it more interesting to the eye. Whereas the second and third design has taken a little bit more of a simplistic approach to it. But again, whenever anybody does a design, whether it's a digital design or a tattoo design, the more you put to your design, the more there is to be judged on. So just be aware that any design that you do will be judged on the criteria of what you've put in it. Sometimes less is more, and that is the reason why the design that was done that took the win for these three took the win from my side. The application plays a big role, the tattoo readability plays a big role, as well as the general overall appeal of the tattoo. Will it do well? How long will it hold up in the skin? These are all factors that need to be taken into consideration when judging these tattoos. As nice as these designs are, and as much as I really do like the first design, I have to base my decision off of tattooability and application. Shaky, wonky, not connecting lines will always score negatively for me. Line work is the bare bones basics of any design. If you do not have clean, smooth line work, your design is not going to work. It's set to fail from the start. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you all learned something based on the information that I've given you about how we judge these designs. And it'll give you guys a better idea as well in the future when you're looking at a tattoo or you're looking at any design. You can start breaking it apart, looking at all the fundamentals, looking at all the elements that go to form that design, and you can make your own decisions based off of that. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed.
Okay, so I hope you liked our little video. One takeaway that I learned is make sure your line's connect. Girl's very judgy. So with my next piece, I'm going to make sure that I zoom in like he does and just make sure that all those lines kind of meet up, because I'm a sketch artist, so I like to sketch and then just, so I've learned that lesson. Sure.
I still think my creativity still needs a little bit more work, but 100% Guile zooms in microscopically to find all those little lines. So definitely a lot of I want to say saturation, but technically it can work in a way. But anyway, just make sure that we don't have any gaps, our lines aren't overlapping, the picture just makes sense, everything like that. So that's 100%.
I suppose on my end, I just need to put a little bit more thought into my composition and kind of just view it as something that can be worked off of. Other than that, I think I did pretty good.
Yeah, so overall, I still really like my piece, and I'm hoping that the next one I'll take the title of overall winner, but it's all good, and we will update you on any new little things that we do in the studio, and we're really hoping this is going to be a regular thing. And I enjoyed it, I had fun, and I learned something. So overall, good experience.
Be sure to like and comment, let us know your thoughts, and yeah.
We'll see you guys for episode 2.
Yeah, bye.
I'm going to cut myself out.
I was
I'm just doing a lot of leaning.
I know. It's all good.